Yo fellow raiders, how you doing? If you're trying to stream Arc Raiders on one PC and 3 monitors, you already know how brutal this game is on your GPU. In this video I will show you to fix stutters, blur, pixelation by starting with a proper speed test, choosing the right bitrate, and setting up OBS the correct way. We also talk about monitor refresh rates, capped FPS, and how to balance your GPU load so your stream stays smooth. Stick around because I'll show you the exact way I used to stream this GPU intensive game without lag. Before we touch OBS, you need to know how fast your upload speed is. Just go to speedtest.net, press go, and look at your upload number. That's the one that matters for streaming. The more upload you have, the better your stream can look. For example, if you have 37 megabits upload, that equals to 37,000 kilobytes per second. But you can never use the full upload for streaming. You always need to leave some headroom for TV, Netflix, Discord updates, everything running in your house. So with 37 megabits upload, you safely use around 70 to 80%. That gives you a safe streaming bitrate about 26 to 30 kilobytes per second. But there's the thing, you don't even need that much. Most people stream fast-paced games at 1080p, 60 frames a second, and for that you only need around 14,000 bitrate on YouTube, and Twitch is capped at 6,000 anyways. So even with 37 megabits upload, you're more than fine for 1080p, 60 frames a second streaming. And this is the number we'll use to set up OBS correctly. Before we change any encoder settings, make sure your base canvas and output resolution are both set to 920 at 1080. And your FPS is set to 60. This is the standard for fast-paced gaming like Arc Raiders, and it keeps everything clean and consistent. Now, let's talk about the encoder, because this is where most people get confused. OBS gives you multiple NVIDIA options: H.264, HEVC, and AV1. On paper, HEVC and AV1 look better. They're newer and more efficient, but they're not good for live streaming. YouTube does not handle AVIC or AV1 properly during live streams. If you stream with AVIC or AV1, you'll get more pixelation, more blur, and more compression artifacts, especially in fast games like Arc Raiders. So for live streaming, always choose NVIDIA NVENC H.264. This is the most stable, the most compatible, and the cleanest options for both YouTube and Twitch. Alright, go to OBS, go to Settings, go to Output, NVIDIA NVENC H.264, constant bitrate. Bitrate must be at 30,800 kilobytes a second. Keyframe 2 seconds. Preset P4 medium quality. Then tuning on high quality. Multipass 2 passes, full resolution. Profile high. Look ahead and the adaptive, leave him alone, don't touch it because it's very GPU intensive, and B-frames at 2. And that's it for the encoder settings. Now, let's talk about resolution, refresh rate, and why your monitors matter when you stream on one PC. The easiest setup is using 3 identical monitors, same resolution, same refresh rate. Why? Because NVIDIA can act weird when every screen runs at different hertz. Your GPU has to calculate each display separately, and that can cause micro stutters or frame time spikes. In my case, I'm using 3 different monitors, so it's a bit trickier. 2 of my side monitors only show OBS, Discord, and my browser, so I set both of them to 180 Hz. It's the only refresh rate they have in common. My main monitor is a Samsung 4K panel that can run 120 or 240 Hz. So I run my main screen at 1440p and I keep the refresh rate at 240 Hz, so the difference between screen isn't too extreme. If you do have 3 identical monitors, just set them all on the same refresh rate. For example, 144 Hz. This makes life easier for the GPU because it doesn't need to sync 3 different timings. G-Sync settings. Make sure G-Sync is enabled on your main gaming monitor. You can set this inside the NVIDIA control panel. Never enable G-Sync on all 3 screens. It just adds more work for your GPU and causes stutters. Now, the most important part, your FPS cap. If you let your GPU run unlimited FPS, it will hit 95 or 100% usage, and the OBS has no room left to work. That's when you get screen tearing, lag spikes, and blurry streams. So you need to cap your FPS to something your GPU can handle comfortably. I cap mine at 120 FPS. This keeps my GPU under 80% usage, which gives both arc radius and OBS enough headroom to run smoothly. Oh yeah, if you liked it so far, give it a thumbs up please. And this doesn't only apply to streamers. If your monitor is 144Hz, there's no reason to run your game at 200 or 300 FPS. Your screen can't show more than 144 frames anyway, so everything above that is waste. And your GPU has to work much harder for no visual benefit. So even if you're not streaming, always match your FPS capped to your monitor's refresh rate. It keeps your GPU cooler, use less power, and gives you a smoother frame times. Alright ladies and gentlemen, we go into settings, graphics. I put it on borderless full screen. Why? So I can switch screens when I'm gaming and I'm chatting, whatever the fuck I'm doing. NVIDIA, DLSS frame generation off, VSync off because you have capped it on your NVIDIA control settings. NVIDIA Reflex on plus boost, unlimited, matter, upscaled, resolution 100%, resolution scaling method, put it on TSR, just for streaming. Render resolution scale mode manual, 100%. Field of view doesn't matter, it's your own choice. NVIDIA RTX global illumination static. View distance high, anti-analyzing high, shadows low, post-processing medium, textures high, effects medium, reflex medium, foliage low, global illumination resolution low. In-game performance overlay is simple, it's your FPS cover. Idle energy saving off. Inactive window energy saving off. And that was all. Any questions? Feel free to leave a comment. Bye bye Raiders.